Hello, my name is Lucy Lyons, and this is my Rexelusa Sales Improvement Plan for Marketing 427 Final. So for my overview, we are going to talk about Rexel and then identify the key issues, and then we're going to deep dive into the selected issues that were pointed out to us, and then we're going to go into the recommendations that I've set aside for the issues that we've selected, and then go into that implementation plan and then the expected impact for those plans. So first of all, we have the company background. Rexelusa is a national distributor of electrical supplies. They service commercial, industrial, and residential customers, and they're a large branch network with strong market presence, and their current opportunity lies within the improvement of their sales consistency, performance, and accountability. So, for a summary of the McKinsey findings, it looks like the top sellers are hitting earning goals early and then they're slowing down. Their digital tools like the CRM and mobile apps aren't being used consistently, and the branches are seeming to lack leading indicators to track sales behaviors and pipeline health. So, these are some issues that could be put into play that could help with revenue. So, issue number one that we saw was complacency from high earning reps. Reps are earning high commission, which reduces the efforts once they hit their numbers. This leads to uneven customer coverage, and this creates major performance gaps across the different branches. And it also will limit the revenue growth opportunities. Once these reps hit their numbers, once they hit that number that they are satisfied with, they're not covering the other customers that might need the same amount of recognition as the first ones. But once they hit that number, they slow down and they become very complacent. So, this is something that we want to tackle and get ahead of because it is limiting that revenue growth. And that's something that could easily be changed and easily be making a lot more money for the company. Issue number two, there are digital tools that are being very underused. The CRM usage is inconsistent across all the reps. There are missed documentations leading to lost pipeline visibility, and the digital tools exist, but the reps are preferring to use their old habits. This limits data accuracy and forecasting. The more we can bring in digital tools and start using them and utilizing them to our advantage, the more that we can close these gaps and the more that we can start seeing more information and using that to our advantage. For issue number three, there's a lack of leading indicators, KPI gaps. So the branches are tracking revenue, but they're not tracking sales activity. There's no clear benchmarks for calls, quotes, or follow ups. It's harder for managers to coach or predict performances just by these, and it makes problems visible only after the revenue declines. So, what if we don't have all these KPIs and we just track once it's closed? We don't see what happened in the middle and we don't see where problems could have been solved before that problem became an issue. So then this leads us into my recommendation overview. So first we want to motivate and re-engage these high earners. And then we want to increase the adoption of digital tools and then standardize these KPIs and reporting across the branches. So for solution number one, we want to keep reps motivated and open a growth program. So we want to introduce tiered incentives that are tied to activity, not just revenue. We want to set quarterly growth goals for all the reps and create stretch goals for the high performers. This will help with that complacency. And then offer recognition for bonuses or offer recognition or bonuses for consistent efforts. So the more consistent these efforts are, the more you can get in recognition or bonuses depending on the rep and how they seem to be motivated. So for solution number two, digital adoption initiative. So this requires CRM usage for quotes, follow-ups, and pipeline updates. It provides real quick training refreshers for branches, use branch level dashboards to visualize usage, and rewards teams who fully adopt the tools. So when we would implement this into a branch to start it up, this would be something that we would implement this dashboard. It would be something on a branch level, so it has just those branch settings and all the information that is unique to that branch. So it's not too much information all in one place, and it is easy for the reps to navigate and understand. And once we provide this training for them to understand it, and it'll be on a very low level, low scale, nothing too um, high tech or too detailed. It won't be too hard to understand. Once they understand that and can use it to their advantage, we will start to implement it more and more and then reward the teams that can fully or adopt this into their programs. So we understand it won't be easy to adopt right in the beginning, right when it's introduced to them. But once it is and it's good to use and everybody's feeling comfortable with it, we can start to enter some rewards to the teams. Solution number 3, we want a standardized KPI dashboard. So we want to track leading indicators. We want to track calls, quotes, meetings, pipeline value. We want to give managers weekly visibility into rep activities, not just after things are closed. We want to identify coaching opportunities earlier. It's a big gap right there with coaching. We have high reps that can teach a lot to the younger reps, but if they get complacent, if they aren't using the best of their capabilities, this is something that's highly underutilized. So if we can identify coaching opportunities earlier, we can see where we can get that out of them before they either become complacent or where we can use that throughout their entire sales activity. And then we want to create consistency across all branches. So once we start implementing this, if we can make this something consistent across all branches, we can start seeing a consistent difference and consistent growth between all branches. So this is something that could be some really very impactful for us as we go forward. So then as far as that implementation plan with these new dashboards and new technology coming forth, this is something that might not be too easy to just implement right in the first month very quickly. It's going to take a little bit to roll out, and it's going to take some getting used to and a lot of understanding on both sides. So for phase 1, we want to roll out KPIs and dashboards. And then in phase 2, we want to train the branches on those digital tools so they can get a little bit more comfortable with those. And then for phase 3, we want to launch the motivation and growth program. And that's where it's going to kind of make them feel a lot more comfortable with it after we have shown them a little bit of what it looks like. They're going to start feeling comfortable using it and then start experimenting with it. So then I think it would be a great idea to set a 30-day and then 60-day and then a 90-day checkpoint. This is really good, especially if we're starting with some branches in different locations and not starting just with every branch everywhere across the US. Starting with trial branches and then starting those checkpoints, we can see how long it takes to integrate these dashboards, how long it takes to get reps comfortable with this, and how long it takes to see results. So when we set those 30, 60, 90-day checkpoints, that's something that can help us see how it's working. We can tweak the system if we need to. If there's something we need to change, that's where we can come in and fix that as needed. And then for that expected impact, we're hoping to see more motivated and consistent sales efforts across the branches. We hope to see a stronger pipeline visibility and earlier problem detection. We also want to see a higher digital tool adoption for cleaner and more accurate data and improved forecasting and manager coaching. We also want to see increased revenue potential through better rep performance. We know that that revenue potential is there, and we know if we could just implement some of these things and see where that growth is lacking and where we can really excel with that and capitalize off of that, that will help us with those gaps. So as far as the budget, we do have a $2 million budget. We first want to allocate $600,000 towards the rep motivation and growth program. So this will support targeted incentives, skill building workshops, and stronger onboarding to keep reps engaged without overspending on bonuses. So it's not necessarily just going towards compensation and incentives, but it's also going towards that engagement and that excitement towards learning the new things. So we want to engage the reps in this. We want to make it something that they feel like it's a team bonding aspect. We want them to feel excited about taking on new software and not feeling like it's something we're forcing them to do. We want them to feel like it's an opportunity to be excited about. And then we also want to spend $900,000 on digital adoption initiative. This will cover major CRM and mobile tool upgrades, branch-wide training, data cleanup, and digital support staff to ensure consistent tool usage. So when it comes to tech, there's a lot to go into it. This is something we want to allocate most of the budget for. And then standardized KPI dashboard, $500,000 will go towards this. This will fund the software development, dashboard integration, reporting tools, and manager training, so branches can track activity and pipeline health. So in conclusion, our key takeaways is that Rexel has a strong market position, but inconsistent sales habits are limiting growth. This plan strengthens 3 core areas, such as motivating reps to maintain effort, increasing digital tool usage, and creating clear KPIs and expectations. And the end result is a more accountable, energized, and data-driven sales organization. Thank you.